My name is George Wilson, and I'd like to share a book talk with you about the book titled The Voice That Challenged a Nation, Marian Anderson and the Struggle for Equal Rights by Russell Friedman. This book is a biography about a famous singer known as Marian Anderson. Marian Anderson was born in 1897, and she grew up developing a love to sing and a love to listen to others sing. She attended the Philadelphia Stanton Elementary School until the 8th grade, which was common back then during the time of segregation. And for her to go to high school, she had to pay. And she lived in a poor working class neighborhood which consisted of Irish, Italian, Jewish, African American families who came from the South. Blacks and whites lived side by side, but she still faced racial discrimination. Marian lived with her father and her mother and her two younger sisters. And she went out singing with her aunt and sang, of course, with her family in the choir at the Union Baptist Church. And she would sing at local benefits and community events. And they eventually raised money for her to go on to high school, but she continued to travel and sing throughout the years. After she graduated from high school, which she was 24 years old, she really began to travel and to sing. But to put herself through school, she did some sewing and, some of those kind of odd jobs, whatever she could do. Or, she would sing and perform, and people would pay 25 cents or 50 cents. And that's where they got the finances for her to go to school. The book tells how in 1917 she went to Savannah, Georgia to sing by invitation at the Georgia State Industrial College, which was a black college. And that's when she began to really learn about the Jim Crow laws and segregation as it existed in the South in that time. It was not uncommon in that time for the segregated South to keep races separate in theaters, in public transportation, and areas of entertainment. She went on to earn or receive an honorary doctorate degree from Howard University, and she trained with famous and well-known vocal coaches. She sang to the Roosevelts at the Lincoln Memorial, and the Daughters of the American Revolution, known as DAR, stirred controversy because she was really invited to come and sing at Constitution Hall, and they made it really difficult because they didn't want an African American performing there. The book really talks about the barriers that she broke. She received a NAACP Spring Arm Medal from First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. She received several awards from government dignitaries. Eventually, she did sing at Constitution Hall. Through her singing, her voice became one that changed hearts and minds in the United States. When the Daughters of the American Revolution objected to her singing at Constitution Hall, she gave a free concert on Easter Sunday, April 9th, 1939, in the Washington, D.C. Mall near the Lincoln Memorial. She was very popular in Europe and was welcomed with Eleanor and Franklin Roosevelt. As an African American, she faced the struggles with racial discrimination, and she became a pioneer by being an advocate and pushing for civil rights, for the right for her to be able to perform and be in places that other Americans could be. In 1943, she married Orpheus Fisher, who was a white man, and she did this despite the controversy and threat that was made to her career. I really enjoyed reading this book because it really talks about how she was a pioneer for the struggle for equal rights, and she didn't allow the conflicts to get her down, and she didn't quit. She went on, and she became educated, and she became well known with her voice. I would use this book in all grades. I would suggest it to be used in all grades, in covering a multitude of content. I could see it in social studies and history, to discuss, history of the civil rights movement and talking about people, and maybe as a theme for a Black History unit or something during Black History Month. But I also see it as a way to be used with reading, and writing during a time when the content is discussing biographies and journaling and writing, because one of the things that I think about is talking through those situations. Students could journal, put themselves in her place and journal what it is that they would have felt, or what they think she would have felt, putting themselves in her place. And so they could have been put themselves in her position to write a dialogue about how she felt when they objected to her performing at Constitution Hall. And I just think typically the material, the age range that it's written for I would say between 5th to maybe 9th grade. But it's something I think that all children would enjoy. It has pictures, shows photographs from moments and stages in her life. So I really think that it would be beneficial. For example, here's a picture from when she was just a year old. And there's a picture of her as a singer and a performer. And then there's a picture with her and Orpheus, her husband. And that's something that I think teachers could use this book for, to talk about issues and perceptions of the time with interracial couples and how that has changed today. Here's her standing on the steps of Lincoln Memorial when she sang to a crowd of 75,000 people.